Hi guys, today we're going to tell you about how Zombies is the best Disney Channel original movie ever.
Welcome to our TED Talk.
No, actually, in all seriousness, it's been over a year. We posted our Q&A video about our professional internships on March 5th, 2018, and it is now almost June 2019, so
Times have changed.
Time has flown.
So much.
And a lot has changed. Life has taken interesting turns for both of us. Yeah, and we decided y'all deserved an update because I think by telling our stories, it may help you with your future story and give you realistic expectations about what to expect. All right, you want to start?
I don't even know where to begin.
I think the last place we left off,
I was still thriving.
you were thriving. You were still...
Oh, I wasn't thriving. I was trying to figure out how to thrive.
Yeah, so the last time we did an update video...
You were in part-time.
I was
still at A&M.
You were still an intern. So do you want to tell everyone where you are 1 year later?
Or how I got here?
Yeah.
Well, I was an intern, for those who don't know, at the Architecture and Facility Engineering Department from August of 17 till May of 2018, so 10 months, and I transferred to a TA with our operating participants team, which you probably don't know what that is, and that's fine, but it's like any of our third-party tenants on property at Disney. So I worked there from May until October 1st. Loved it, real fun and fresh, 10 out of 10. Was like a real person for a while, like no longer an intern, like, you know, earning her stripes. And then they were like, oh, no renewal for you. So I was like, okay, cool, back to ground zero. But I didn't want to lose my like tenure with Disney since I had been there for like over a year by that point. So I transferred to part-time and then was like frantically trying to find a job in the real world, which was scary and not fun, but it worked out eventually. But I was like, I don't know what to do. So apply for internships again.
Yeah, because you started taking grad school classes, right?
Yeah, took a grad school class, was like, let's keep trucking that along. And applied for an internship, just like, hey, I got nothing else. And was really fortunate to get asked to come back to the same department I left in May. So they were like, yeah, come on back, like, see you in January. And I was like, dope, really cool. But I still had like 3 months in between by the time I applied and gotten in, and then by the time my internship started. So I was like, well, I guess we're gonna work part-time for a while still. And I was pretty lucky. They put me merchandise at Disney Springs, working in the Star Wars store and Marvel and Candy Cauldron. So there probably wasn't a better place for me to be, besides maybe in a resort or something. But it could have been a lot worse. It was a little bit of a fall, to say the least, but it could have been a lot worse. And I ended up working at an architecture firm in the medium as well, with an old coworker from the same department that I came back to. So that was really cool too. I got some more experience and I filled my gap, and then we got a nice house and we moved. We're in a different home.
Goodbye, Falcon Square.
Yeah, bye, Felicia. She was great for a while, 4 months to be exact. No tea, no shade. It was a great place. It was just, we outgrew it.
We did.
Very literally and space-wise outgrew it. So then I was like, okay, back in the intern grind, and I was supposed to stay at my new department for a year, and I was like, cool, job security for 1 year, 2020, nice. And then on my second day of my internship, they were like, nope, you have to find somewhere else to extend to. So I was like, well, what else is new? So I networked my butt off, and I met with everyone I could and talked to everyone I could and applied for like literally like 35 jobs. at Disney. Most of them were internships. I think like probably 25 of them were internships, and then like 10 of them were full-time, just because I was just like shots in the dark. And one panned through very quickly, and I'm going to that team, which is the program development team at Hollywood Studios, in 2 weeks. I'm very excited about it. It'll be a new journey, a very different journey, but a new journey. And it's been a very tumultuous time since August of 2017. I don't know. The real world is like super scary, you know? And when you really want, if you're like really passionate about working in a certain place, say like Disney or anywhere really, and you're just willing to like do, no Avengers reference directly, but whatever it takes to get to that job, which is how I feel, it can be very hard. And it's not something like, some people it does work out magically and they get like their full time, they're living their best lives, like love that for them. But that is not the case for us, and I think it's not the case for a lot of people. And just if you go into it with like very realistic expectations of what your journey might be and how rocky, and like we've both had pretty rocky but very different journeys, so it could take lots of forms, which is really awesome. But I think I know for me personally, even though it's hard and I've had to go through a lot and it's been mentally challenging, I do believe everything happens for a reason. I know that's stupid, but like I do think everything happens for a reason, and I think that where I end up is where I'm supposed to end up, if that makes sense. Even though it's not where I thought I was going to end up.
Yeah.
But stay tuned. So come January 2020.
Let's see next year when we do another update video where we are at. So for me, let's see where we left off. So I also did a professional internship in the fall of 2017, as anyone who's watched this channel before should know, because that's how we met. Thank God. Yeah.
We hate each other.
Yeah, so I went into that internship like, this is going to be great. I was working for Disney Cruise Line doing entertainment. I was like, this is amazing. I'm going to work for Disney Cruise Line. I'm going to do an internship for a year. They're just going to hire me after. It's going to be amazing. But that's not how it works. This is Disney, guys. They like to surprise you. So I did my internship starting in August. I was supposed to end in January. And I was like, totally going to extend. This is fine. Made that pretty clear that I wanted to extend very early on. My leaders really liked me. They were like, oh yeah, we would love to extend you, but like, don't hold your breath because we can't guarantee you an extension right now. So like, you should probably start looking for jobs and we'll keep you posted. So I started looking for jobs, applied for a bunch of internships. Long story short, nothing worked out. And then they literally got rid of my internship. So they would have extended me had it the opportunity been there, but they got rid of the headcount for my internship and replaced it with a coordinator position. So you're probably thinking like, oh great, like Brennah, cool, you could probably just take the coordinator position, right? No, that's not how entertainment works. So I applied, they interviewed me, so that was nice of them. Like I would have probably been sad if they didn't interview me, but entertainment very much, at least at Disney, values your time and your commitment to the company, and you really need to work your way up from the parks, or in some cases the ships if you're working for Disney Cruise Line. So I believe the girl that got the job had probably started entertainment in the parks, and she had worked her way up and did different TAs and things like that, and definitely like rightly earned her spot there, and it probably would have rocked the boat a lot had I got put there, and I also probably just didn't have the right experience. So I was very confused about what I wanted to do with my career at that point. And I also needed a job, so I put in for a transfer and ended up getting really, really lucky, and I got placed in Epcot as a festival event guide, which is a brand new team that was running the American Gardens Theater in Epcot. So if you ever have been to a concert there, or the best show ever, Guardians of the Galaxy Awesome Mix Live, you may have seen me, which some of you have seen me because people have stopped me before, and that's really cool when you do that. So yeah, I worked there for a very long time. I started in January, and I worked there. I mean, I'm still working there actually, but worked there full-time until October. I was part-time, but I was working full-time hours. Ended up getting really lucky because it was a new location. There are no coordinators, or zone checkers is what we call them. So within a week, they actually asked me to shadow the zone checker, so I got to train on that, and then by the Flower and Garden Festival, I was zone checking, so that was cool. I got experience really, really fast that I think is valuable to my Disney story. But at the time, switching from this really awesome professional internship to like back to park ops was really, really hard and really depressing. And then thinking that there was a chance I could go back to Disney Cruise Line and not getting that was also really hard. And then I was like applying for Disney jobs like crazy. Disney wasn't having it. They weren't like, I'd get a couple bites here and there and then nothing. And then finally I had to like bite my tongue and start applying for like real people jobs, and no one was having it, and did a couple interviews, started applying for things like even outside of Florida. Like I was like, just send me anywhere. I just need a job. And then finally I had submitted randomly my resume on LinkedIn. Like it was one of those like instant applies on LinkedIn for this job with Westgate Resorts, which I had never heard of, but it is a timeshare company in Orlando, or based out of Orlando, and ended up a few days later getting a call to do an interview. So went in for that and got hired the day of, which was insane. I was so overwhelmed, but I got hired as a media producer, so basically doing video production, photos, editing, anything like media related for Westgate Resorts. And I actually ironically started that on October 1st, which was the day
my life ended, hers began.
Mine began. I was super lucky with my location. I was able to balance working at Disney with this full-time job, so I would just give away a lot of my shifts part-time at
Don't condone.
Epcot. Well, it was actually, I don't know, my leaders were chill with it. Like I was like, they were just kind of like, don't call out. And so I didn't call out, and I'd show up when I could. But so I got to keep all my Disney benefits, which was very important to me. Mainly because right before I got the Westgate job, Disney launched their Aspire program, which is so freaking amazing. If you don't know what it is, basically Disney pays for your college education.
It just added UCF today.
Yeah, so I have actually been working on a graphic design certificate, which is super sweet. So that was the other reason I didn't want to leave Disney, because I had just enrolled in these classes and I was very excited about it. So Westgate has been a very good experience for me. I think it was really important for me, one, to get a full-time job in my field, like media production is what I went to school for, so that was good. And also just to experience another I was going to say another country, another company.
A whole new world.
It really is.
Aladdin.
Yeah, so an experience another company, because like, even though in my head for the longest time I've been like, I want to work for Disney, there's always kind of like, you need to like explore, go swimming in some other waters, like see another country. And so I did that, and what I found was I had a really awesome team, but Westgate wasn't the right fit for me, and I figured that out pretty quickly. So then I was kind of stuck, because I was like, well, here I am. This is a well-paying job in my field with a team that takes pretty good care of me, but there are also things that I wasn't crazy about. And so in February, March or so of this year, I saw some internships coming out, and I was like, what the heck? Let's apply. And I didn't really know what to expect. I wasn't like in your situation where you were like, I need a job, because I had a job.
I had no job.
And I had like, just because I didn't love my job didn't mean I wasn't comfortable, because I was comfortable. And so I was just kind of like, all right, there was like 4 or 5 internships that I was like, let's just throw my resume at them. Didn't even write a cover letter. I was like, we're just going to throw my resume at them. I don't even know if I'm allowed to do this, because I was like, Disney was paying for my classes, and it was a certificate, not a degree program. So I was like, they might not even let me do this, so we'll find out. Turns out they did let me do this, because I ended up getting phone screens for 4 out of 5 of the things I had applied for, which was insane, because just a year before, Disney did not want anything to do with me, like nothing. I was getting nothing. So that was really exciting. It was like just by adding a different company and then a graphic design certificate on my resume somehow, like, and I guess honestly I think my festival experience helped too, and the coordinator experience. But yeah, but then one of those phone screens, it was for the Walt Disney World Communications internship. I found out during the phone screen that it was not a phone screen, that was the actual interview. So I was very thrown off, because usually the formula is like, you apply, you do a phone screen. If they like you, you're invited to do like a Skype interview or an in-person interview, and then they pick from there. But for communications, they hire so many people at once that they just interview the candidates they want over the phone with all the hiring managers for the different departments. And they just kind of like listen in, and it was literally a 15-minute phone call. So then that finished, and they were like, all right, well, we'll get back to you in about a month about if you got the job or not. And I was like, oh, okay. And a month went by, and I got a phone call. And I got the ESPN, Wide World of Sports, and Disney Water Parks Communications internships, which was, I'm still like in shock, because I really believe that things come to you when you don't expect them. Because honestly, that's kind of how I got Westgate, and that's now how I got this internship. And I had to think about it for a lot, because this would mean leaving my full-time job that wasn't going anywhere for an internship that, as you've learned, is dicey. But I think I've known for a while that as much as I love video and media and stuff like that, I think I want to do more than just that with my career. I've been interested in marketing and kind of like communications management and social media and digital strategy and stuff for a while now, probably since like the end of college. But at that point it's like, well, I was locked into this like production degree. I can't just like switch majors. And then anytime I would apply for marketing jobs or communications jobs that I was interested in, like I didn't have experience. I didn't have what they were looking for. So that's why I wasn't hearing back from things. So for me, I think this is the best move because this is getting professional experience in the field that I actually want to be in, that I think I'm going to be more successful in. Whereas media production is kind of like a very niche thing. You can be comfortable with it if you get lucky, but especially if I wanted to stay in Orlando, there's just like not much to do with it, and I probably wasn't going to make much more money than I'm making now, and a lot of different factors. And plus I think I'll just be happier doing marketing or digital strategy or social media or any of these things. And yeah, so I decided to take the internship. So here we are, over a year later from our...
and drastically different, like, I mean, not, I'm like literally in the same position I was last time, but like, the journey back to it was hard.
Yeah.
And unexpected, and I would never expected to be going to like ops for anything. Like, that's so weird.
It's still like, I don't even know if you told me in 2017 that I would be like quitting a full-time job for an internship, if I would believe you, but...
Yeah, I turned one down too.
Yeah, you think you did too. Like, we really like Disney, you know? Even if I don't work for Disney again after and I have to go explore another company or find an agency, I really think this internship is going to like make a huge pivot in my career, and it's gonna like, we're gonna finally turn in the direction I want it to go, and I'm finally gonna like get to do what I want to do. And also this one, like, I mean, anything can happen. We're gonna keep knocking on wood here, but they told me in the offer, they're like, okay, it's a 6-month internship, but they like to keep their interns for a year. So like, is that cool with you? And I'm just like, yes, please. Like, a year sounds great right now. But yeah, I think we just wanted to share our stories because like...
And like lessons learned.
Yeah, we all had these expectations, and I think a lot of PIs have expectations going in, especially when you're fresh out of college and you're excited and it's your first job, and
the whole world is your oyster. But Disney's oyster is hard to open.
Yeah.
But
yeah, sometimes it lets you in and then spits you back out, so you just gotta keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Yeah. I think that like being flexible, there's a lot of people I think that would not put up with like what we're putting up.
Yeah, there are people that, I mean, there's a lot of people
which is fine.
Leave.
Like, that's fine. Like,
yeah.
I think going into, especially Disney, this is what we're talking about, but like, especially Disney jobs, most likely you are like passionate about the company. That's why like you're doing this.
Yeah.
And if you're not, you're just like, oh, I'm just here for the cool internship experience. Like, go forth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, have so much fun.
It is, because it's really fun.
But if you are looking to stay, and you're in possibly a field that's very competitive, and they may not have headcount open because headcount literally rules everything. It's why we are in the positions we are today, is headcount restrictions.
Oh, yeah. There was a hiring freeze too for the longest time, like really inconvenient.
It's really awesome, but I think just like making the most of any opportunity you have like within your internship, and then just like network, like talk to anyone that will talk to you, even if they're not even like related to like your field technically, like talk to them, because you never know who is gonna pull your resume through. Like most of, like literally, I think every single job internship I interviewed for, almost all of them anyway, I didn't get past phone screens for a lot of them just because I said yes to a job and they all just went NLIC. But it was literally just like me talking to people, then pulling my resume through, and then like immediately going into interview stages, just because like I talked to them and they knew who I was.
Yeah, she is an inspiration, guys. I hope to do what, because like I got to kind of like watch you for a semester before I do what you're doing and like, restart this intern journey. She hit the ground running. Like she started and was like, bam, meet and greet. And, like, some of your meet and greets you would show up to, and you had already applied for internships in those departments, and you would show up, and they would be like, okay, so I know this is supposed to be meet and greet, but we actually want to interview you, so here's your interview, good luck. And that's, I need that to happen.
And then they were, like, discussing, like, who wanted me and stuff. Like, that was bizarre, and they're still talking about it. I'm like, I don't, people fighting over you is just weird.
After what we've been through.
Especially I have no idea if I'm that good at that job. Like, I've never done it before. And they're like, oh, we need her. And I'm like, oh, geez.
Yeah, I think that's the fun part about being an intern, though, too, and that's part of the reason I think I'm excited to go back. Yeah, because, like, you get to be this person where, you are their helper. Yeah. You're their little helper that comes in and saves them. And also, it's a time of learning, and you can make mistakes, and you can grow, and you're encouraged to grow. You're encouraged to ask questions. Yes. You can go on a million meet and greets, and it's not weird, because they're like, oh, she's an intern.
You have to do your job, though.
You have to do your job, yes. Please do your job.
Fine line.
Alex did her job, too, I promise.
You have to not disappear. I've heard horror stories. Some people take their networking to, like, an extreme. Like, I just was like, I need an internship. Like, we gotta hit the ground running, but, like, lunch meetings. Because I knew most people I was talking to already, which was really nice. So, like, lunch meetings, I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Do your job.
Yeah, but I hope I can network as much as you, because that's...
Network.
That's something I didn't get to do at. I mean, I did network at Disney Cruise Line, but I think I really wasn't there for very long. I didn't do it my first 4 months. I was an idiot. I was only there for 4 months. And I realized my leader helped me a lot, because she... As I started looking for jobs, probably like a month or two in, she was like, okay, you need to tell me like what departments you're interested in, who you want to talk to, like we were going to set you up with meet and greets, and she like worked her butt off for me, which I really appreciate. Even though there was no place for me on that team, she really, really went above and beyond to try to get me on another team, even though it didn't work. But, you can't control who's hiring, and you also can't control that, like, that was around the time I started talking to people in marketing and events and things like that, but I didn't have marketing or events on my resume, but now I have events on my resume, and we're going to hopefully get marketing and communications on there too. So yeah, it's a journey. One of the best things you ever told me, and someone told you this on your college program, was that it's a jungle gym. Mm-hmm. And I think everyone needs to remember that. It's not a ladder to get to your dream job, it's a jungle gym. Yeah,
not at Disney anyway.
Not at Disney.
There's no like direct straight route.
Unless you're very, very lucky.
Which does happen.
We see it happen.
I've seen it happen. Mm-hmm. But it's like rare. People always tell me it's like the opportunity has to be there. If the opportunity is there, and if you were the most qualified candidate, then like that's your shot. Mm-hmm. But those ifs aligning, and like the opportunity as in like head count is there. And you're the best qualified person.
And they like you, because that's a really big thing too.
That can like really pull you through, though. Yeah. They like you, like that's really helpful. Which is why you do your job well, show up to work, do a good job,
get it done on time.
Like that's how I got my internship back. That's how I got my part-time gig. Meanwhile, like it's literally all just people that I've worked with, like helping me. Because they're like, that's a good worker.
And that's even how I got promoted so fast in operations. Because even though I was like, man, I really don't want to be in operations, I was still like, well, this is my job now. I got to take it seriously. And they saw that pretty quickly. So I got to grow because of that. And that maybe not have happened had I had a bad attitude about it and didn't do my job. So.
But at the end of the day, do a good job wherever you are. And if you want to work for Disney, which is probably why any of y'all are watching anything that we post, she posts.
We just want you to know that it's possible, but you have to work for it.
And you have to be open to the fact that it might be like a crazy, tumultuous roller coaster.
Yeah. And just, you can either get off now, or you can buckle your seatbelt. Keep all hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the ride.
At all times. Just the wildest ride in the wilderness.
It really is.
It is crazy. But it's also, like, really rewarding. Like,
it is rewarding. I've done so many cool things.
I want to trade any of the things that I've gotten to do for it. And when you leave, like, you appreciate it even more. Like, me going to somewhere else for, like, 3 days a week, I was just like... and all of them were like, we're past Disney employees, and they were just talking about Disney all the time. I'm like, see, it was the best part of your lives. Like, I want that to be my journey. So it's like really good motivation, because you know what it's like to not have it. So you're like, I'm going to do everything I can to have it back. Yep. which is very
And it's gonna happen.
tumultuous.
I truly believe it's going to happen for both of us. I don't know how long it's gonna take.
Knock on wood.
But I truly believe we're gonna knock on our not wood.
Our tile fake wood.
Tile fake wood.
And our brick. We have no wood.
Anyway, I think that sums it up.
Yeah, we just wanted to come and just like lay out everything. Because last time we were like, I'm extending and I don't know what's happening in my life and I'll figure it out.
And it was just like, I work in Epcot and I'm sad.
But like that, like we've had so many things happen in just the past year, which is crazy. Mm-hmm. And who knows what's gonna bring in the next 6 months for you, 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing past January 2020, but that's kind of like the fun, scary part.
I guess just quick notes for anyone that watches my videos regularly. Haley. Vlogs. The last vlog I posted was from July, and I promise we're gonna have more vlogs, guys. I have filmed a ton of stuff. I never stop filming. Editing is hard, especially now that literally my full-time job is mostly editing. I'm like mainly editing.
Yeah, you don't want to come home.
And so it kind of sucks if you go home, spend 8 hours editing, and then you go home and edit more. Plus I'm doing classes. Plus I have 2 jobs, not just one. So I love YouTube and I love this channel, and we're gonna keep posting videos, but they're just not gonna come out as frequently. Well, actually, probably once I start my PI, it'll get a little bit better because I won't be editing every day.
You're pretty good before then.
Yeah, I won't be editing every day for a living. Maybe sometimes, like I think there'll be some video, but not every day. And then I won't have 2 jobs anymore, which is helpful. So yeah, just be patient with me. And more PI vlogs now because we're PIs again.
Yeah,
we get to go to PI formal. This will be my 3rd Disney Interns formal, which is ridiculous. Thanks if you watch this whole video. If you ever see us around, come say hi. I think it's really amazing when people are like, oh, I watched your professional intern vlogs, or like
your house tour.
Or my house tour, yeah.
You're the first to do that.
I were.
She was the first to film it. I was just in the room. Was I in the room?
You were.
Yeah, I was in the room.
Yeah. And even she's gotten recognized before too, which cracks me up.
Oh, you're that girl.
Because I just dragged you into this whole thing.
Who is in vlogs? Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, so feel free to say hi. We like talking to people. I even had someone's parents come say hi to me once, which was really fun, and I took a picture with them because they all watched my vlogs before their daughter went on their PI. It was so cute. Yeah. Even though I'm really awkward because I'm like always in shock that someone watches my videos. I'm like, oh my god, thank you. And I don't know what to say, but
we'll talk. She's pretty cool. Say hi.
She's pretty cool too.
Yeah. Not as much.
Alright. Thanks for watching.
Till next time.
We'll
do a PI one.
We're going to talk about PI stuff more because people like that, and we're PIs again, so we might as well take advantage of this time of our lives.
Perpetually an Intern.
Perpetually an Intern.
A story by Alex and Brennah. Stay tuned.
Gucci.
Gucci.
And that's the tea.
And that's the cranberry
juice.
The water. Cranberry.